at 18 hands. It just came in, and this horse quite a bit on the petite side, definitely different shape and model.
Owned by Dawn Doffelmeyer. This combination were just outside the top 20 here last year. They were second at Carolina International and were the winners at the Fork. And the combination have won Plantation Field 2 years ago. And in 2016, as well as that second at Carolina and winner at the Fork, they were top 10 at Red Hill. So they've had a stunning spring season.
Well, and she has started off to win it. I mean, she has come in riding bold and forward. You know, combine that with some accuracy. If she can keep up what she started, I think we'll have another top score here. This horse showing great suppleness, really using his whole body through the movements. You can see good activity in the hind legs, the way he bends his hocks in that extended trot, good expression in the front legs. You can see his shoulders really free. We look for the freedom of movement in those shoulders, as well as his suspension. That's what would be how high he lifts his feet off the ground every stride, as well as the cadence and the rhythm that he maintains. All of it looks very harmonious as well. Looks like Maya is just invisible asking for these aids. You can hardly see the cues that she's giving, which will improve that overall impression that the judges receive.
Yeah, completed Rolex last year as a 10-year-old, 11-year-old now, of course, the Holsteiner by Camiros.
Not as good of a transition into the rein back, just had a moment where his front legs appeared to get stuck before he began the rein back. So that'll be one of her weaker movements in the test here. Beautiful walk though. He's very purposeful in the way that he walks. You can see that he's marching forward with a purpose. That shows that the horse is very relaxed. So that Maya can actually, you know, put her leg on it and show that purposeful marching walk. And beautiful smooth transition into the canter. You can just see it was almost effortless as the horse went from the walk into the canter. A lot of suppleness in this horse's body as he moves into the half pass. You also tell how powerful this horse is in his hind leg when he moves his haunches into the canter. You can see a lot of power and energy contained in the hind end. Lovely flying change. This looks like a really fun horse to ride, John. When you watch the horses come and go into the arena, this is definitely one that you would think, I'd love to have a sit on that one.
I don't think Maya would be too keen for me to sit up on it, mind you.
You're also looking at the maturity of this horse's frame. You can see in that extended canter that his haunches stay lower than his shoulders. We call that the horse maintains the uphill tendency in his canter work, where he really looks like he's cantering up a hill as he travels along. Very helpful for galloping up to ginormous cross-country obstacles.
I just feel, you know, I mean, there's a lot still to do. These counter-canter serpentines and the 3 remaining flying changes, but you just get the feel that this is one that the judges are going to have enjoyed judging.
Absolutely. Especially, they've had a chance to watch quite a few different types of horses. A slight stutter into that flying change. Minor. Oh, and again, a little bit of a bobble before into that change, though. Really, 2 of the only really very small mistakes that she's made. And overall, she'll get really rewarded for the overall presentation of the test.
Well, it's tricky. Those last 2 bobbles might just cost her the lead. She's trending at about 70%. Hopefully will be our third to break that barrier, but Liz Halliday-Sharp and Philip Dutton both scoring in excess of 71% to hold the top 2 spots at the moment. Maya Black and Doesn't Play Fair. Winners just a couple of weeks ago at the Fork. I'm assuming she's based herself over here on the East Coast because state of origin is Washington State, so...
Yeah, not a lot of eventing that goes on, you know, in the spring in Washington. They've got some nice summer and early fall events that they run, but to be ready for Kentucky, you have to move to either Florida or California or somewhere where the competition's, wow, beautiful extended Canada. I love seeing that in slow motion. You can see how much reach and scope the horse has in the stride, and then as she's bringing it back, how he transfers that weight back into the collection on the hind legs. Well, it'll be a competitive score. She might not be able to break into the top bit, but it should be probably a pretty competitive score.
So third place is currently being held on 67%, 48.3 penalties, Tim Price and Bango. So there is that wide open gap between Philip Dutton and Tim Price, 5 penalty points that we're going to start to see fill up during the day. And yeah, just missed 70%. 70% is 45 penalties, 45.4 for Maya Black and Doesn't Play Fair, 71, 69, 67 percentages across the three judges.
Certainly a respectable score. She will be looking to maintain that score. Now that she's laid down that score, your goal is to finish on it, not to add any additional penalties, either jumping or time penalties cross country, as well as in the show jumping.
So that's into third at the moment for Maya Black and Doesn't Play Fair, and we just have one more to go here before the long lunch break at day one of the Rolex Kentucky 3-day event presented by Land Rover. It's Katie Ruppel and Houdini, and our next horse in the ring after that will be at 1:30 this afternoon, and that next session, the first